up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello and welcome to today's video, which is going to be an eyeshadow palette ranking. And today we're going to be ranking my high-end and luxury mainstream brands. I decided in 2025 I wanted to kind of split my eyeshadow palettes in two different categories. So I do my indie and my C beauty in one, and my luxury and high-end mainstream in another, just because the formulas are very different. It's really hard to compare the two. In my personal opinion, indie and C beauty will always win out as far as formula goes, but I have multiple makeup personalities and I love each one for different reasons. So for me, in my brain, it just makes sense to kind of split it up into two different categories. But I will have all these palettes linked and listed down below in the description box, as well as what I am wearing on my face today. I did film this look. You will see it in a video going up very soon. It's with the Nomad Cosmetics Fairy Tale Europe palette, I believe is what it's called. But regardless, everything I'm wearing on my face will be down in that description box. So per usual, if you're ever curious about anything I use in any of my videos here on my channel, always check the description box. I squeeze as much information as I possibly can into that tiny little space. But without further ado, let's jump into this because we have 11 palettes to get through. Alright y'all, so coming in at the very bottom is going to be this eyeshadow palette from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Beautifying Eye Trends in the shade Supernatural. I do really like the color story in here. It's a little bit more cool tone, but it's not too gray leaning. But my issue with this one is the formula. I found it to be just kind of meh. It wasn't impossible to work with, but I did have to put a little bit more elbow grease into building up the mattes and kind of blending them out in my crease. The shimmers in here are incredibly beautiful. They are so reflective and sparkly, and they just look stunning on the lid, but it's the mattes for me. I just didn't find them to be worth the price point personally. Like when you start getting into more high-end and luxury formulas, you want them to perform effortlessly on the lid. You want them to be very easy to work with, and I just didn't find that to be with this palette. For me personally, I found it to be more so these two shades right here, and I think it was this one was a little bit patchy. I was able to kind of build it up and get rid of that, but again, it wasn't anything that I found to be very user friendly. I had to work a little bit harder, so not a horrible formula, but for the price point, it just is not doing it for me. And also the packaging is very cheap and flimsy. It has kind of this clear case, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with kind of cheap packaging. I'm all about the formula, but the formula just didn't do it for me either. And honestly, this is the only one that, as far as quality, formula, and performance goes, was a true dud in this ranking. Up next from Chanel, we have this little quad right here. This is from the Camellia Futura collection that came out for the spring summer collection. I think I thought that was the LeBlanc collection. Apparently I was wrong, but this is the little quad that came out with that. This is in the shade Utopia. This is beautiful. I was really blown away by the performance of this. The formula in here is incredible, and this shade right here is like the most beautiful duochrome shade. It's very flippy on the lid. It's very soft. It's very smooth on the lid. It doesn't emphasize texture. I don't get any fallout. I don't know if you noticed it when I swatched out the one from Charlotte Tilbury. I definitely got like a little bit of kind of glitter flurries kind of floating throughout the air. I meant to mention that, but I didn't. But this is so smooth and beautiful, and I do really like the color story in here. The reason this one is coming in where it is because there's not any true mattes in here, and I like a look to have mattes and shimmers to kind of create a look for me. But I have really been reaching for this one a lot, kind of all over the lid with a more neutral crease, which we'll get to the palettes I have been really using in a little bit now that I've gone back to work and I'm doing something a little bit more neutral, something kind of quick. But I have been reaching into this one for that, and for more than anything, it's been these two shades right here. But I did really enjoy this one. I like the quality in here. It's a fantastic formula. It's just more of a companion than it is like an all-in-one palette for me. So coming in at, I believe, number 9 is going to be the Tom Ford quad in the shade Olive Smoke, and this is beautiful. I could not resist this quad. I know I said I would never pay full price for a Tom Ford quad, and technically I didn't. I had like a $10 off coupon for Nordstrom, so technically I still didn't, but I didn't get on major discounts secondhand or anything like that. But this is a beautiful color story. I love the tones in here. There's some beautiful ones and dones in this palette. I really enjoy playing with this. This is the Creme formula, which is my favorite formula from Tom Ford. I find it to be the most user friendly, but the reason I'm putting this one where I am is because there's only one matte shade in here, and this matte is very deep. I do like to use it to deepen up the outer corner. I like to use it as a liner and things like that. But as far as an all-in-one palette, I either use this as a one and done all over the lid, or I like to mix and match it with another palette that, like I said, we will talk about in just a little bit. But the quality in here is beautiful. It is that good Tom Ford formula that we all know and love. There's something about the cream formula though that I can't wear it on its own. I do have to prime my eyes because I have very oily eyelids. The couple of times I did try and wear this on its own without any primer, concealer, powder, or anything on my eyes, it creased on me almost immediately. But over top my MAC paint pot, it looks incredibly beautiful. But the only reason, like I said, it's going where it is because, again, it is a companion palette for me. I like to have those mattes to kind of build my look off of and then throw a beautiful shimmer all over the lid. But it is a beautiful formula, beautiful color story, and it's a stunning one. It's probably one of my favorites that I have from Tom Ford in my collection. Coming in at our number 8 spot is going to be the Victoria Beckham Eye Wardrobe in the shade Olive. And I picked this one up about the same time that I picked up the Tom Ford. I actually picked this one up before because I was hoping that this one would kind of fill that void for the Tom Ford palette. But the more I saw the Tom Ford, the more I wanted it. But I did do a video on my channel kind of comparing the two formulas, creating a look with each of them side by side. And personally, I like the formula in this one just a smidge better. I like that we do have 2 matte shades in here. I feel like I get more of a green look with this palette than I do with the Tom Ford palette. Both of them are beautiful. You can kind of go with whichever one suits your makeup style, but I really enjoyed the formula in here. I never played with her old formula when she had the bricks that were just kind of the shades lined up next to each other without the separators. I don't like products that bump up next to each other like that, at least in an eyeshadow I don't, but the formula in here is beautiful. Like I said, the mattes are very buildable. They blend out beautifully. I don't have any issues with patching, skipping, creasing, fallout. The shades last on my lids all day, and the shimmers in here are beautiful. This one right here is more of like a satin shimmer, so it's not going to be the most reflective thing in the entire world, but it does look really pretty all over the lid to kind of start things off. But this shimmer right here is so incredibly beautiful. I just love how sparkly and reflective it is. It's very mature lid friendly. I don't find that this emphasizes the texture on my lids. I've been really impressed with this formula in here, and she did come out with a new one called Bordeaux, which is obviously a little bit more on like that cranberry purple leaning side, and I want that one so bad, but I'm trying to resist. But this is a beautiful formula, and this is a weighty little compact. And another thing really quick that I do want to mention is that this is refillable, but it's not refillable in the sense that you can refill each individual shade. So if you run out of one shade, you have to purchase the whole thing or nothing at all. But this does pop out, and I think it's only $50 for the 4 shades, whereas if you purchase it with the compact, it's like $70 or $75, something like that. All of my details are in the video with the Tom Ford palette, so if you're interested, I will try to remember to link that down below. But I do really enjoy this quad. Coming in at number 7, we have the YSL Mini Couture Clutch. This was limited edition. It's in the shade Blooming Lust. I don't even know if you can get this one anymore, but it is absolutely beautiful. And honestly, if you missed out on it and you're a little bit sad, it is very similar to the other one that they have in their regular line, which I believe is called Babylon Roses. I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. It's the other one that I have in my collection. This one I feel like is a little bit more vibrant than that one, and this one has 3 mattes instead of 2 mattes in it, but still beautiful formula, beautiful color story. I really enjoyed playing with this one. The YSL matte formula is incredibly silky and smooth. It's a little bit more pigmented than what you're going to get from most luxury brands, especially when you compare it to like Tom Ford, Chanel, YSL, Dior. I do find these to have a little bit more punch to them. You're not going to get anything like you would from an indie brand, but for a luxury brand, this formula is incredibly beautiful. It's actually probably one of my absolute favorite luxury formulas. Like I said, the mattes are very creamy, easy to use, no patching, skipping, fallout. I don't actually get any of that with any of these palettes at all in this ranking, with the exception of the Charlotte Tilbury one, but they just go on so easily. They blend out almost effortlessly, like very little work goes into it. And the shimmer right here is a absolutely beautiful like pink blue duochrome shade. It's very smooth and beautiful on the lid. It is a little bit more of a topper, so it has more of that translucent base. I don't even know if the camera is going to fully pick that up, but it's one of those that if you just top it over any of these other mattes, it just kind of transforms the entire look, and it is incredibly beautiful. I really did enjoy this palette. Did I need it? No, because I do have the other one, but I'm still happy to have it either way because it is a very me color story. All right, my number 6 palette is actually going to a re-release, and that is the Tarte Aspen Overd palette. This one came out several years ago. I don't even remember how long ago it was at this point. It's one that I had in my collection, and in a rage declutter, I got rid of it, instantly regretted it. So whenever it was re-released, I picked it up immediately, and I'm happy to say it's the same formula that I remember. I love it. It performs beautifully. It is very boring, but for me, this is an all-in-one palette, and I've actually reached into this one quite a bit because I have my eyes, I have my blush, I have my highlighter. It does have that Tarte fragrance to it, so if you don't like fragrance in your eyeshadows, you're not going to like this one. I like it. It's sweet, it's pleasant, it almost has like a little bit of a vanilla smell to it, but like I said, if you're someone who doesn't like fragrance in your makeup, I would stay away from this one. But I just picked this one up because I wanted to fill that void that I had in my collection. I know I didn't need it. Like I said, it's a very basic palette, but it's also a really good stable everyday palette. I do wish it went just a little bit deeper with the mattes, and I wish we had a little bit more variety as far as these shades over here go, but still absolutely beautiful. This blush is beautiful, very pigmented, but still easy to blend out on the cheek. The highlighter is blinding, which, speaking of blinding, I'm sorry if the light is hitting this and reflecting into the camera. It is very reflective. There's not really anything I can do about it, but I'm really excited to have this palette back in my collection. I don't know how long it's going to be around, so if you already had it, maybe yours is a little bit older and you want to replace it, maybe you never had it, maybe you're looking for that perfect everyday palette that's just going to give you a soft, beautiful look, this is a fantastic palette, and I've really been enjoying it. And honestly, I almost put it up a little bit higher, but the ones ahead of it, I've just reached for a little bit more. All right, so we have entered the top 5, and up first we have the Skin by Kim Classic Glam Eyeshadow Palette. This one actually came out, I wanna say holidays last year, and I was kind of on the fence as to whether or not I wanted to pick it up, but ultimately I decided to because I wanted to try out her shimmer formula, and this one looks very similar to the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette, the original one that he came out with several years ago. It went super viral. I do have that one in my collection. That one is a little bit more cool tone leaning, and this one is more true neutral leaning. But the formula in here is incredible. Kim has an impeccable formula. Say what you want about Kim Kardashian, whether you're a Kardashian fan or you're not, this is a judgment-free zone. Personally, I'm not really a Kardashian fan, but I love makeup and I love trying makeup. But she has a gorgeous matte formula, and I already knew that going into this. Personally, I like her formula more than I like the Makeup by Mario formula. I find it to be a little easier to work with. It's a little bit more softer in pigmentation, a little bit more buildable. I get a little bit of fallout with his formula, and I don't really get that with hers. But back to this palette, formula is beautiful. I do wish that the matte shades went a little bit deeper in this palette, but the shimmers in here are beautiful. We've got some topper shades, we've got some metallic shades, some beautiful just sparkly shimmery shades in here, so we really get a lot of the same thing that you would get in that Makeup by Mario palette. So if you missed that one, you could pick this one up and you're going to get definitely a lot of the same vibes. But look at how beautiful those shimmers are. They are very smooth, they're very flattering on my eyes. I don't encounter any issues as far as wear time, pigmentation, fading, anything like that goes, and I've really enjoyed playing this one. Again, it's another one that I have reached for quite a bit lately, but I would love to see her bring something a little bit more colorful to the table with her brand. I know she's never going to go like full rainbow or anything like that, but I'm thinking the fun stuff that she did with KKW, I would love to see those in this format, but I would also love to see her switch up her packaging, because the 2 palettes that she has released, it's the exact same packaging, and if she keeps on that path, it's going to get very confusing. But regardless, formula is beautiful, really enjoy the palette, it's a great staple. Coming in at number 4 is the Natasha Denona Mini Eye Sculpt palette, and this is very boring, it's very basic, it is 5 matte shadows, but this is the palette that I bring in for the other ones that I talked about when I want a neutral crease, I want to deepen it up a little bit, just something to kind of start off my look. This has been my go-to palette for that. I have gotten a lot of use out of this one. It has lived on my little desk right here since I got it, and it will probably continue to do so, because for me, this is the ultimate companion palette. It is the good Natasha Denona formula that we know and love. It goes from really light to really dark, and these are true like neutral shades in here. This one definitely leans a little bit more pinky. This one has a little bit more of a yellow undertone to it, but it's not enough where you can't pair it with both warm tones or cool tones or even neutrals depending on what you're doing. Gorgeous palette, really smart release from her. I know it's boring, I know a lot of people didn't like it, they didn't understand it, we didn't need it, but personally I absolutely love it and I reach for it a lot. All right, so the two palettes coming in third and second place technically go together, and I could have ranked them together, but I did split them up because if I'm going by preference, the all shimmer version is going to go in third place and the all matte version is going to go in second place, just because I am more likely to reach for an all matte palette than I am an all shimmer palette. But I'm talking about these two right here from Esum. Who even remembers that I tried these on my channel? It has been a hot minute since I reviewed these, but I love and adore this formula. It is probably a new high-end luxury mainstream formula for me. I say mainstream. This isn't really like a brand that you can walk into Sephora or Ulta or pick up. You can find it online, but it's more like a makeup artistry based brand. So you're going to get very slimline, sleek packaging, very compact and things like that. But the formula in these palettes, y'all, I am blown away. So the first one that we have is going to be the number 2 Intensity eyeshadow palette. All shimmers, absolutely beautiful. You have the best of everything in here. You can go cool tone, warm tone, a little colorful, a little neutral. These aren't anything that are going to be super flippy. We don't have duochromes, multichromes, holochromes, anything like that in here, but these are insanely beautiful on the lid, very mature lid friendly, and just gives you a very everyday, elevated, sophisticated look. And I have really enjoyed this palette. Some of these do feel a little bit drier, some of them feel a little bit creamier, but I never have any issues picking them up, applying them. They don't crease on me. They last all day. I don't get any fallout. They are just so insanely beautiful. Like, look at that shade right there. It is so reflective. It's not gritty. It's not textured or anything like that. Let's do this little purple one right here because you know I love a purple shadow. And look at that. It is so just absolutely beautiful. I am really, really impressed with the formula from Esum and kind of wish I had tried it a long time ago. They do have a more colorful version of both the shimmer and the matte palettes as well. So if you wanted to kind of have 4 palettes in your collection and that be it, this is a beautiful formula to go for. But I do have coming in at number 2 the Balance eyeshadow palette, and this is going to be the all matte version. And again, this has a little bit of everything in it. Honestly, the reason I put this one up higher than I did the one from Natasha Denona is because you have more variety in this one. So you're gonna get the same shades. I didn't need both, honestly. I really, truly didn't. But this one is going to have all the shades in between that this one doesn't have. So my first instinct is to reach for the Natasha Denona, but if I want something to deepen up a purple look, maybe a little bit more of a warm palette, or maybe kind of something a little bit more neutral leaning and not maybe so yellow undertone to kind of blend things out, this is the palette that I'm gonna go for. But again, I have reached for this one so much, and actually I wore this one pretty much every time I went on a job interview, and I went on a good handful of them. I just reached into this one, did some neutrals in the crease, outer corner, lower lash line, and then threw one of the beautiful shimmers all over the lid, and I've really been enjoying this one. The formula is incredibly beautiful, and again, I would love to see some more like olive leaning tones, some more yellow leaning tones, maybe something a little less rainbow-esque and a little bit more curated as far as color goes. But beautiful formula. If you've been eyeballing it, thinking about it, you will not be disappointed at all. All right, so that is going to bring us to the number 1 palette, and let me know down in that comment section if you figured it out before I announced it. But coming in at number 1, we have none other than the Natasha Denona Bloom palette, and y'all, I love this one so, so much. I knew I was gonna love it when I saw the reveal of it, when I saw the swatches, but again, in person, it is so much more beautiful, and I love it so much more than I thought I was going to. Before this one came out, I Need a Warm was my favorite neutral palette from her, and before that, it was the Gold palette, and before that it was the I Need a Nude. I feel like with every single one she comes out with, I just love it more and more. I know cool tones are having a moment. Everybody's loving cool tones, but I love warm tones on my eyes. I love a cool tone cheek, a cool tone lip, but as far as the eyes go, I want all of the warm tones. I want the oranges. I want the warm tone kind of mauvey leaning shades. I like the warm tone browns. It just really makes my green eyes pop, and this is like my perfect everyday neutral color story for me personally. I love how we have more of like these burnt oranges over here. We've got some pinky mauvey shades over here. We have a couple of neutral shades to kind of mix and match things up. I do wish this shade right here had gone just a little bit deeper, because whenever I play with this sort of section over here, I always bring in this shade to deepen up my outer corner. And if this had been just a smidge deeper, I would have loved it even more. But again, I can always bring in this palette and bring in that black and deepen it up a little bit more. But the matte formula in here is incredible. There's not any of the cream to matte formula in here, which I'm fine with. I like her cream to matte formula, but it's not my favorite. It can be a little finicky to work with, and they're not quite as pigmented either. But the rest of the mattes I think are beautiful, and the shimmers in here, we've got some different formulas. We've got some that are a little bit more topper. We've got some flips, some high shine, some wet looking, just a beautiful variety of different shades in here. And I know a lot of people have said that they don't get a lot of variety with their looks when they play with this palette, but I absolutely do. I don't feel like every single look that I've created with this palette is same. Of course, a lot of it depends on the shimmer that I pop on the lid, but I can definitely take it super warm with these more orangey leaning shades in the middle, something a little bit more kind of warm, cool leaning with these more mauvey shades over here. I can go very neutral with these two shades. I've got some one and dones. For me, this has been a staple palette and one that I absolutely loved playing with, and one that I'm actually really excited to have from the brand. But that is going to complete this eyeshadow palette ranking. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I know I was a little bit winded in here and I kind of got off on some tangents here and there, but I love sitting down and chatting about makeup, and I haven't been able to do that a whole lot this week. But let me know all of your thoughts down below. Let me know if you picked up any of these palettes, how you would have ranked them, what has been your go-to palette as of late. I want to know it all. Let's have that conversation. Light up that comment section, and as always, I want to thank you all so much for watching my video and spending your time with me. It truly does mean so much to me. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel. And until my next video, have a good one. Bye.